very good experience.
That's the power of sports.
Le Sportel.
I'm going to speak in Spanish.
Gentleman is going to speak in Spanish.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the LaLiga's panel. This panel is called View on the Changing Broadcast Landscape. I must tell you that this talk will be in Spanish. If you need to request translation services, this is the time. Bueno, buenas tardes y bienvenidos todos.
Welcome to all of you.
Este es el panel de
This
LaLiga.
is the La Liga's
El título
panel.
del panel es LaLiga, el panorama cambiante de la
In other
retransmisión.
words, the changing broadcast environment.
El señor Javier Tebas, que ya lo conocen todos.
Mr. Javier
Darío
Tebas, you
Alemán.
all know him. He's the president of La Liga.
Les hago un pequeño resumen de lo que se trata el
And
panel y
so
vamos
we're going to briefly
video.
summarize what the panel
Los
is all
espectadores de hoy
about.
tienen más formas que nunca,
So
¿no? de acceder al
today,
entretenimiento y a la información.
all
Los canales
different
online
spectators have
como
all
Dazzling,
different
Amazon, Facebook,
sorts
YouTube
of
y
way
otros
in order
ofrecen
to
como
access
alternativa a medios
content.
de retransmisión no
They can do it
tradicionales.
through Facebook, through social
significa
channels,
esto para el titular de los
through
derechos?
tablets.
¿Y qué desafíos y
What does this
oportunidades ofrece para el
mean
mundo de
for
la
right
retransmisión online?
holders?
Es sobre lo que va a
And
hablar el presidente
so
de
this
la
is
Liga,
what
Javier Tebas.
Javier Tebas is going to tell you all
Vamos
about.
a empezar
So
por un pequeño
let us
video
start with a small
de la Liga.
video that will show you what La Liga is all about.
How was Spain? It was great. The locals are a bit mad. They go crazy for football. And they do the weirdest things to bring their team good luck. Kids sign up as club members before they can even walk. They'd rather be late for a wedding than miss a game. And you know what? They don't just watch the game. They feel it. People cry when they lose, but they cry even more when they win. The most incredible thing, it's totally contagious. It's like when you watch a match. Hey, vamos amigo! You become one of them. That can't be football. That's got to be something else.
Bueno, muy bien.
Okay, so thank you very much.
¿Por qué no es
Now,
fútbol?
why
Es
is
la
it
Liga.
not football? It's La Liga.
Lo que queremos transmitir
Well,
hoy es
what we
que-
want
que-
to
que
transmit
la
and
Liga
convey
es
today
mucho más
is
que un
that
tema de
La Liga
deporte,
is
¿no?
a
Es
lot
socios,
more than
entretenimiento,
just
es
a
solidaridad,
football game
es
or
responsabilidad social corporativa.
it's the corporate social
sentimiento, es
responsibility,
pasión,
it's a
una
feeling,
forma
it's
de ver el
passion,
fútbol
it's
que-
a form
que
of
estamos
looking at
intentando
football
transmitir a todos nuestros fans
that
en
we
el
want
mundo
to
entero, ¿no?
transmit to all of our fans.
¿Cómo aumenta la
How
Liga
does
el
La
valor
Liga
de su
increase, in other words, the sale
Nosotros,
of its product?
sobre todo desde
Well,
hace 2
since
años,
a couple of years,
hemos cambiado un poco la
we
estrategia de lo
have
que es la Liga
changed
como
the
organización, ¿no?
strategy of the
El
organization
primer cambio ha sido
itself.
el que
And
ya no somos solo
we are
organizadores de
not
la
just
competición,
organizers of the
nos
competition,
consideramos como
but we
pues, una
consider
compañía de
ourselves
entretenimiento.
as an
Tiene
entertainment
un gran
company.
contenido,
We've got
que todos los
huge
fines de semana,
content and every
en
single
directo,
week
en su
and
máximo esplendor, ¿no?
and
Cuando estamos
live.
dando nuestros partidos, nuestros
We
10
have
partidos de la Liga
our
de primera división de la
matches,
Liga
there,
Santander, pero que luego tiene mucho contenido de
and they have
entretenimiento que tiene que ir
loads of
dando
content. It's
durante
just
la
it's
semana y durante el
entertainment
año
during the
a sus
week. It's
clientes, ¿no? Y ese
because people
cambio,
want to
ese
know
cambio
where
de
the match
modelo
is going to be,
cultural, ¿no?
who's
Yo
going
creo
to
que
play,
no es lo
what
mismo
well,
ser
all
organizador
the
solo de la
background.
competición,
So
vender unos derechos que
so we want to sell rights,
crearse ya una estructura interna
and we
y que
want
es
to
una
create an
industria de-
internal
un tenedor de
structure
contenidos,
that
pues como Disney,
is
como-
basically
como
like
otros, pero
Disney, like
un
others,
gran
like
contenido,
Warner
¿no?
Bros.
Eso que
We have
hemos
huge
trabajado estos 2
content,
años, ¿no?
and this is what
Y
we
ahí
have been
estamos dando
working
valor,
on the
¿no?
last
Sobre todo
couple of years.
En el último año,
Especially
pues
in the
hemos también
last
cambiado
year,
lo que
we
sería nuestra
have
cúpula ejecutiva de la
changed
Liga, ¿no?
our
Dando
executive
entrada a
board,
ejecutivos pues que conocen bien el sector del
because
entretenimiento, ¿no?
these people know the
sector digital,
entertainment
¿no?
sector extremely well,
desde
the
personas que
digital
vienen de
environment
Netflix,
extremely well,
como
especially
es
the
nuestro
Netflix
jefe de
people,
comunicación global,
And
personas que vienen de
it
Facebook,
also people they know all about Facebook, they know about
digitales,
Twitter, they know
personas que vienen del
the
mundo de la marca
digital
de fuera del
environment.
fútbol,
Also,
de
they come from
grupos sanitarios,
outside
por
of the
ejemplo,
world of football, from
personas que
other
estaban dentro, pero que también adquieren
worlds,
más, muy
but
dedicadas al
who
mundo
know
audiovisual.
exactly how to
Hoy nuestro
convey
comité, vamos a decir,
messages and
ejecutivo,
how to convey
tiene
content and
una
how to
parte
make
muy-
people
una
interested in
parte de
content.
deporte, de organizadora del fin de
So,
semana, pero una parte muy
Also, the
importante de
idea is
entretenimiento
just
y
not
ocio,
to
¿no?
organize the
Y de ahí a la
weekend for
fina
these
estrategia
people, for our fans,
que
but to
a lo largo de la
organize the
entrevista
entire
puedo
week.
explicar que
So,
hace que
And this
busquemos mucho más
has
valor,
actually
y sobre todo que
increased
nuestros
our value
clientes, que
significantly
son nuestros
because
fans, nuestros seguidores,
we have our
pues busquen la máxima satisfacción
fans,
de
but
nuestro
not just our
producto,
fans.
lo
All
cuenten
sorts of
y
people
tengamos mucho
want
más,
to look at what we are
En ese punto, ¿cómo se diferencia de otras
So,
ligas?
how is it different from
yo
other
lo que,
leagues?
en primer lugar, lo que hemos
Well,
hecho,
I
he
think
dicho,
that
la
what
creación
we
de un
have
comité ejecutivo que
done
muy
with
profesional
our
que no tienen otras
executive
ligas, ¿no?
committee, these
muy
are
dedicado
all
al mundo del
professionals
entretenimiento, ¿no?
and they're
En
all
segundo lugar, lo
focused
llamas
on
directamente a lo que
producing
concierne a lo
entertainment,
que
not just
nuestro
football.
seguidor o el espectador
So,
ve por
our
televisión.
spectators see
Hemos querido
the
mejorar
telly
muchísimo el producto que teníamos ya hace
the
3 años
product,
ahora,
but
¿no?
we have improved it
Teníamos la
significantly.
sensación que
We have
que
the
la historia que
sensation
contábamos
that the story that we were
en nuestros
telling
partidos había que mejorarla, ¿no? Teníamos unos
during
grandes
our
actores, de hecho,
matches had to be
hacíamos
improved.
una
And so
buena
this
trama
is
en esta
what we
película,
have done. So it's
pero
like a
los
film.
decorados
It
que
has a
estábamos
good
utilizando,
plot,
cómo
but
retransmitir,
you need
cómo
a better
hacíamos la
decor.
película,
You
no
need
eran
how
muy buenos, ¿no?
to make
Entonces
sure
hemos
that
hecho una inversión muy
this
importante de
is
la
a very
liga
interesting
en
film to look
cómo
at.
se ve la
So we've
televisión. Hemos
invested
puesto
in
cámaras
this
aéreas,
sense.
pero
We've got
además lo que
aerial
hemos
cameras.
pretendido,
We've got
hemos puesto cámaras aéreas, más steadicams, repetición
more
en 360
Steadicams.
grados,
We have 360
muchas
views
nuevas
of the
mejoras en la
football
forma de hacer las
pitches.
entrevistas,
We
lo que
have
ves
more
por
interviews
televisión,
before,
nos
during, and
preocupamos
after the
mucho que
match.
el color del césped esté muy bien,
And
las
also
gradas, la
what is
publicidad, todo
going
muy
on
homogeneizado, ¿no?
the
Porque antes no era así.
not on
Y
just
además
on
lo
the
que estamos
field, but
procurando,
also
y lo que
around the
compara
field.
mucho la industria del entretenimiento, es que estas 10
And so
películas que estamos
it's
dando los
we
fines de
basically
semana,
have 10
pues
different
vamos a llegar a
films
que
or
todas las
movies
películas
going
se
on
vean de
during
una
the
forma
weekend,
igual.
and each
Nos
one
dará
of
lo
these
mismo que
films has
sea
to be
el Real
extremely
Madrid
interesting,
jugando
whether
contra
it's
el
Real
Atlético
Madrid
Madrid,
playing against Atletico
que
Madrid,
Eibar jugando
or
contra un Villarreal,
it's
¿no? Creemos
Villarreal playing
la
against
inversión que
somebody
estamos
else.
haciendo
The
en
way in
cámaras,
which
en
we have
todo,
invested with
todo el mundo la
cameras,
tenga en un periodo de 5
so
años, para que por lo
everybody will
menos
have it
la
for a
forma que
period of
estamos
5
contando esta
years.
historia,
And so the way in
esta
which we're
historia tan
telling
bonita que es el
this
fútbol los fines de
lovely
semana,
story,
pues
which
nos da
is
lo mismo
football
que
during the
vemos a las grandes
weekends,
estrellas
is
de una
like
forma,
as if
pero
we
veremos a los
had
que a lo mejor los van a hacer de la
amazing
misma forma,
film
porque con eso
stars
creemos que hacemos mucho
on
más dinero,
show,
¿no? Eso
live,
a
obviously.
nivel de lo que
And
vemos, ¿no?
so
También
what we
en el
see is
mundo,
extremely
pues, con la estrategia
important,
digital, ¿no? Que es
and
muy
also
fácil
with the
decir, bueno,
digital
vamos a ver esa
strategy,
estrategia
which
digital, ¿no?
is which makes it
Pero ¿qué
very
es la estrategia
easy to
digital, no?
see
¿Qué
all of
objetivo
this.
buscamos, ¿no?
So this is
Nosotros,
the
sobre todo,
goal we
nuestra
were
estrategia digital está
looking
centrada
for.
en esos
And
periodos que van entre los
so
partidos,
the
entre
period
semanas,
between the
de tener
matches
entretenidos a nuestros fans,
to
¿no?
have
Y que puedan
our
adquirir
fans
información
sort
de nuestro
of very
campeonato,
actively
que podamos
interested
darle
in
otras visiones
the
de su producto del
strategies, what
partido,
goes
de
on
los
behind the
jugadores o
lines,
de
who's
sus
going to
directivos,
play, who's
de
going
una
to
forma diferente a la que están conociendo, ¿no? Para eso
to
hemos traído a
do
las personas de
whatever. And
Facebook,
so, I mean,
para
it's
buscar
not
cuál
just
es el
Facebook
producto adecuado,
or
cuándo hay que hacerlo,
other social
cómo hay
media,
que
but
hacerlo,
also all
cuándo
the
hay que
different
promocionarlo,
things
las
we
personas que nos
have
están haciendo crecer
being
pues, de una
broadcasted during the
forma
week,
importante en el mundo de las redes
so as
sociales.
to
Pero
build
también con otro mensaje,
the
¿no? No solo
pathos
crecemos el
for the
Barça por
weekend.
Real Madrid, ¿no? Estamos haciendo crecer a
So
todos.
we're not just
desde
having
Madrid
Real
o
Madrid
arriba,
grow,
todos,
we have
en un plan,
everybody
pues,
grow.
diseñado, para que
And
llegue a todo el mundo, ¿no?
so that everybody
Eso es
can
clave,
sort
¿no?
of
Y
be
también
interested
el tema que hemos hecho con
in
la
all the
marca, ¿no?
different
Nosotros ahora
in all the
la
different
Liga, no tiene ni
football
2 años, un
teams.
poco más de 2 años. Antes era la LFP.
And then we
Ahora
are
tiene la
going to
marca
move
LaLiga,
on
que
to
era un puesto para
LFP,
buscar, pues,
which
bueno,
would
una forma de
be
identificar
a way
a
to
lo que todo el mundo nos llamaba,
identify
que nos llamaba
what
la Liga. Nos llamamos la
everybody
Liga menos nosotros, que nos llamamos la
wanted to
LFP.
see. So
Era
everybody
todo
was
una
doing it,
distorsión, ¿no?
accepting
Pues también
La
creo que lo
Liga.
estamos
Now we're also
consiguiendo, ¿no? Y por
doing
eso,
it.
pues bueno, el primer paso que tienes que hacer para que
And
valga
so
la
this
pena
is
más
the first
es que sea
step,
mejor tu producto,
is
¿no?
so that the
Luego ya
product
sabemos
will
los
be a
mercados son
lot
como
better,
son, y hay
definitely
competencia en
better,
los mercados donde
and
hay,
because we
que
want to
hace subir o bajar los
compete
precios, pero evidentemente si quieres
on
tener un gran
the
producto,
markets.
si quieres
Obviously,
competir con
the
otros
prices have gone up a bit,
productos premium
but
como
of
la
course, if
Fórmula
you
1,
want to
MotoGP, la
compete
Premier,
with
la NBA,
Formula One, for
la NFL,
example, football or the English Football League or Premier League or other leagues, you have to give a better product, obviously. So
bolsillo y tiempo.
And also, this
de
takes
nuestros
up the
clientes, nuestros
time and the
espectadores
money
también.
of
Entonces,
our
hay que buscar que la
customers.
preferencia en la elección
If
de
they're
esos
going
clientes
to
y espectadores
choose
sea
us, it's because
esta historia
we are worth it.
que contamos en
And
10
we have to
películas
be
de fin de
worth it
semana.
because this is
repartir la
something
torta
that.
entre todos.
So, of course, we
Sí,
have
pero que sea
to
más grande la
subdivide
realidad.
the cake between
En
everybody.
esta
But, of course, the
comparación con
cake
la
has to be
industria del
bigger.
entretenimiento,
So,
las
this
figuras
comparison
internacionales que tiene
between
la
La
Liga,
Liga
son
and the
grandes
entertainment
jugadores.
industry.
¿Son un desafío? ¿Son una oportunidad?
So, what about the big players?
Bueno, yo creo
Do they
Siempre
represent
es
a
una oportunidad
challenge?
tener a los mejores
Well,
jugadores del
if you
mundo,
have
¿no?
the
Lo
best
vimos ayer
football
en
players
la
of the
entrega de los
world,
premios,
obviously this is a
pero de
challenge
los 11
because
jugadores mejores, 8 estaban jugando en nuestra liga,
and
¿no?
so 8 of the best football players in the world
Es
are
una
playing in La
oportunidad que tenemos
Liga.
que saber utilizar, pero también
And
cuidado que no se nos convierta
so
en un problema,
they
¿no?
do not have to become a
Luego lo
problem,
que llamo esto, pues,
obviously,
son,
but they have
nuestras
to be
grandes estrellas del cine, las
exploited,
tenemos,
between inverted
pero tenemos que ir
commas,
creando nuevas
in the best
estrellas, ¿no?
possible
Y
way,
para
but
eso,
we
pues,
also have to
equipos
create new
como el Atlético de
stars.
Madrid o el Valencia, Sevilla,
With
también
Valencia,
están creando
Sevilla, Real
estrellas,
Madrid,
pero lo
etc.,
importante
we
es
have
dotarles
the important
de
thing
ingresos
is to
económicos para que las puedan
give these
mantener, ¿no? Que era uno
teams
de los
the
problemas
income
que
in
nosotros
order
detectamos
to
hace 4
buy
años, ¿no?
these
Que
players.
salían estrellas en el
And
Atlético de Madrid,
because
salían
if we
estrellas en el
have
Sevilla, en
the
estas
possibility,
películas,
these
pero
teams will
llegaban
produce
las
new
grandes
champions, will produce
productoras,
new
que
stars.
son el Madrid y
And
Barcelona o
so
otros equipos de
this
Europa,
is something
y
that
se los
it's
llevaban,
sort
¿no?
of feeding
Porque hemos
itself.
dotado de contenido económico
Because
a estos
if
clubes
we
para
give
que puedan mantener sus
economic
estrellas. Ya
content to
tenemos
these
un Atlético de
clubs, they
Madrid
can
que ha podido mantener
purchase
perfectamente a
better
Griezmann,
players. They
pues, ha
can
podido
also
mantener otros
have
jugadores durante este periodo de tiempo.
the
Y esa
possibility
es
of
un poco nuestra
seeing their
estrategia, ¿no?
own
Basada en que queremos las
young
grandes
teams
estrellas, pero también queremos que los
develop
otros
new
equipos tengan
stars.
estrellas, para lo cual hay que dotarles
And
económicamente para que
obviously,
sigan
if they don't
manteniendo,
have the
que es lo que ha
economic
venido
means,
pasando. Cuesta mantenerlo, pero
of course it has
nos
to.
centramos mucho en eso y
It's impossible
constantemente lo
to have
estamos vigilando.
stars playing in these teams. So.
Se han asociado con otras ligas internacionales, ¿no? En el mundo,
So
¿no? El caso de
you have
Portugal,
been
de
associated
Kenia,
to
de
other
Sudáfrica.
leagues in the world, for South Africa,
el
Portugal,
Bueno, el objetivo
others.
nuestro cuando
Well,
a nivel
our
internacional
goal
nos estamos acercando a
is
nuestros homónimos
because
de esos países,
we
a
are
las
trying
ligas de las
to have a
comunitarias y
closer
muchas más,
relationship with
es que
our
nosotros
homologs
no
in these
queremos
other
que se nos
areas
vea
of the
como
world.
unos colonizadores
We do not want
de
to
la
be
industria
colonizers
del
of the
fútbol en esos
industry,
países, ¿no?
of
Ya
the
viene
football
la
industry in
liga
these countries.
a que al
But
producto local lo aparte a la industria local
so
del
the
fútbol,
La
¿no?
Liga comes along
Al
and the
revés, lo que
local
queremos
product
es
is sort
compartir
of
experiencias. Yo no digo ayudar, compartir experiencias,
placed
porque el
in
interés de la
a
liga,
teeny
además,
weeny
esto
little
es
corner. No,
internacional,
no,
lo
no.
explico
We
en
don't
muchos
want
foros
this to happen.
deportivos
We don't want
de
to
ligas y
be.
de clubes,
We want
es
to
que la
be
industria del
associated
fútbol, en
to
este caso,
football
sea fuerte
industry
en todos los
of the
países.
place. We want
No
it
nos
to be
interesa
strong in all
a las grandes
countries.
ligas
So
que haya problemas con
we do not
económicos
want
con
to
ligas
have
en
any
Kenia o en
problems, for
Rumanía
example,
o
with the
en
Kenya
absoluto.
Football League,
Tenemos
sort
que
of,
ayudar a que la
sort of
industria
making
del
them
fútbol
disappear
sea lo más
into
fuerte
the
posible.
background. No, no,
Pues
no.
esa
We
industria
want
lo más
everybody
fuerte
to grow.
posible,
We want to be
todos
associated
ser lo
to
más fuerte posible
these
para
other
la
leagues
estabilidad
so as to
en
make
el
them
sector,
grow,
¿no?
make them
Y con eso es lo que
stronger.
estamos trabajando. Primero, que
And
no nos
we've been
vean
working
como
on this, of course.
colonizadores. Segundo,
We don't
los
want these people
queremos
to see us as
intercambiar experiencias
colonizers,
o ayudar para que
but we
crezcan.
want to
Y
help
luego
them
porque
grow.
el fútbol tiene un contenido que
Also
no nos podemos
because
olvidar, pasional, ¿no?
football has
Y
this
tu
passionate
producto
content.
local, tu
And
producto
obviously
te
the
atrae
local
también. Entonces,
the local content
aspiramos,
is extremely
nuestra aspiración es
important
ser
for the
los
local
segundos
people.
en todo el mundo.
And then
Primero, la
so
liga local de cada país,
we
y después
want
nosotros los
to
segundos.
be
Y
number
después de su
2
país nos vean a nosotros.
in other countries of the
El
world. We don't
desarrollo
want
se
to
ha
be
visto,
number
¿no?
1.
¿Cómo está creciendo hoy en día y cuáles son los
So
planes de
how
expansión
are
de la
you
liga?
seeing
Bueno, nosotros
growth?
a nivel internacional,
Well,
lo
at
que
international
hemos
level,
querido primero para
uh,
poder crecer,
so
lo que
in order
explico
to
al
be
principio,
able
hay que tener
to
un buen producto.
grow, we have
Creo
to
que lo
have
hemos
a
hecho
very good
muy bien
product.
ahora. Yo creo que
So we're doing it
ver el
very
fútbol
well now.
hace 3 o 4
And
años no es lo mismo
well,
que verlo
3 or
ahora,
4
¿no?
years ago,
Había
it
sido
was
esencial
completely
también la
different
colaboración de
vis-a-vis
Mediapro,
today. If
que
you
es nuestro socio
So if you
en
look
muchos
at our
aspectos, ¿no?
partners,
Que
if
nos
you
ha
look
ayudado
at what we
a conocer
have
todo lo
been
que hay
doing, I
para
mean,
ese
the product is
crecimiento.
completely
Pero
different.
después, claro, no basta.
But this
Para
is not
crecer la
enough
industria, subir
in
la
order to
señal a
create an
un
industry.
satélite
So
y
you
bajarla,
need
pues, a los 200 países del mundo, ¿no?
you need to
Tienes que
have
hacer
the signal
muchísimo
go
más,
all
¿no?
the way up to the
Estrategia
satellites
digital,
and
que ya
come
también
and sort
explicado
of
muy
have a
brevemente, pero
downfall
también
on
una
200 countries.
estrategia
No, that's not
presencial, ¿no?
enough. You
Nosotros
need
lo
a
que hemos hecho ha sido,
campaign. You
en primer
need
lugar, en estos 3 años hemos abierto
so
12
we
oficinas en el
have
mundo, ¿no?
opened 12 different offices in all sorts of places in New Delhi, Beijing, Shanghai, etc. And last year we have started with our marketing, with our international marketing. We have delegations and representatives in 50 different countries. Why do we have all of this structure? Well, because we have to be close used to the communication means to the mass media of these countries, because we have to make sure that we count in the digital world of all these countries. So, let's say when we are looking at, for example, the African Football Cup, we want the people from that football cup to come up in our shows. And also, 10 days ago, when in Nigeria, we spoke in English to the Nigerian people, and this came out in all the different newspapers in Nigeria, because they were very happy. They were all very happy because these people will be able to follow us, because we try to speak the local language, we try to speak with the local people, so we organize events. So, of course, you also need quality in the signal. Of course, this is extremely important. You have a good signal, go all the way up to the satellite and down to reach all these other countries. So, but if you don't do all of this together, it is useless. So, you're talking about social responsibility. You have different projects that you have started with LaLiga. So, LaLiga Genuine. What is it? Well, we conceived this a fortnight ago, and it is devoted to people who have intellectual disabilities. And so this will be shown for these young people, because we have created a team of young people who have problems, mental problems or disability problems. So every fortnight they will play. So we have to move 500 of these kids, and we do this in Tarragona, Mallorca, and other places. And it's like a sort of a minor football league, but it's for the young people who have either physical disabilities or mental disabilities. And because we want football not just for stars or for super athletes, but we also have to think about people who would love to play, but who will never play in a normal football team. So our obligation is to somehow make sure that society will see these people. This is a very materialistic society, the one we're living in today, and very little social sensibility or awareness. And so we think that we want to do something that has a completely different outlook, a completely different goal. And but this is what we're trying to do. We hope we can be successful. But we want to transmit the values, not just for super-duper people. We want also people who are not so lucky to participate. Another initiative that you call Liga for Sports. So the Liga for Sports is a project. We are devoting important economic resources to this project. And for other sport federations in Spain, like all other different European countries, football is extremely important, but there's not just football, there's all sorts of other sports, and we can't be too egotistical. We want to also help other Spanish sports. So we're going to devote an important amount of money to all for example, table tennis, the Table Tennis Federation, and other federations. And also we want to make sure that this project will work, because we want to create other channels so that these sports will have visibility. And otherwise, with these sports, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to sell rights, for them to be visible in the international environment. So what we want to do is to make sure that they will be visible, and also to organize them so that they will become profitable in the future, so to speak. So, because these are sports that will never have a broadcaster come to ask them to air their shows or air their matches. So this is what we want to do. I want to touch another topic. What about the Catalonia independence problem? Well, obviously, this has caused a great instability in the environment. And of course, this will have an impact in all sorts of economic sectors, and the banks and the stock exchange. And also, when we talk about rights, football rights, well, now we are in a phase where this madness is coming to an end. Everything is going to sort of fall back into its proper place. And of course, Spain will still be a nation that will be one nation. And of course, we have to send out the correct messages. And we also are going to talk about post-truth, and I don't know, because many lies have been told, many things have been said which are really not true. So the banks are going to stay, we're going to be European, etc., etc. So we, so we're going to be sending out messages of the so-called post-truth. And anyway, I think that this madness has basically come to an end. And obviously, we're going to have maybe some traumas, maybe some other issues, maybe some other problems. But what we are talking about is La Liga Española, which means the Spanish La Liga. And this is going to remain the same. Another topic.
Financial fair play.
Financial fair play. What do you think about the Neymar case, among others? Well, I don't want to go back to the Neymar case, basically. Since the month of March, we've had several meetings with Nasser, with other people, and also with Manchester City. And of course, it's the UEFA that has to respect the laws of the market and also the rules of the market. And so whatever they do, if they do it in an improper way, they will destabilize the market, because and this will go on for many years. And so you can't just want a player and do all sorts of crazy things to get him. So, and I think that UEFA, well, we hope it is going to take its measures. Otherwise, we're going to denounce, we're going to sort of start litigation with the European Union, because this is an industry. I mean, it's not, and if you don't have controls, severe controls, because this is a market that goes beyond national boundaries and borders. We have rules, and somebody has to make these rules respected. So the market is big, the market is there, it's been there for many years, but the idea is to send out a very clear message. I'm not really worried for the Spanish league or for the Spanish football, but okay, so we want to make sure that whatever we used to do years ago, we can still keep on doing now.
And
also, we want to make sure that we're not losing points, we're not losing possibilities along our path. So La Liga has 20 points. We don't want them to be 80, 85 points, etc. Now, let's just go back to platforms and the multiplication of screens, talking about rights. Does this increase value? What is actually happening today in the audiovisual world? There's so many televisions, there's so many networks, there's so many channels. And so when the world of telecommunications starts buying rights, well, of course, this is a certain revolution. And we've had, in France, we've had FSR, for example, or others. So something new is happening, something different. So even Teleco has become an audiovisual content provider. So the world of telecommunication is entering the world of audiovisuals, especially the world of sports. So it is a reconditioning of this sector. So what happens to us? Well, we want to make sure that anything that is being transmitted has to be done in an adequate manner. You have to settle the rights in place, and you have to do it in a suitable manner. So the more suitable, the better, obviously. But which kind of repercussion is it going to have on prices? Well, we can't really say for the time being. There's so many territories, there's so many things being involved that are interested in sports content, that we have to really look into it in great detail. We want to make sure we're not doing the wrong thing. But of course, all these new customers, and of course, even in Spain, we have huge growth. People want to look at football on their tablets, on their mobiles. We have to be prepared, however, for what the future has in store for us. Because the idea, first of all, like I was saying a while ago, is that we need a very good product. And then, of course, we can sort of iron out all the details a little step at a time. And, of course, this is a transition moment. So, and we do not want to create any sorts of ruptures or anything, but it is obviously clear that the premium products, like, for example, La Liga, they're going to still be premium, and they're going to have an important value. So, of course, there's markets, everybody knows about it. But like OTT, it's not just the mobile telephone industry that is involved, but we can't have exclusive. So they need content, but we need to reorganize the whole thing. We have to be prepared for this, and we're working. Because if we need to come up with a specific channel, why not? We can organize a specific channel for this kind of content. It can be OTT, it can be Telepo. Because in the world of telecommunications, of course, what we are seeing is a reorganization of these telecommunication companies. Some are going to become just providers of content, and they're going to give them all sorts of things, but the idea they're going to become distributors. But of course, La Liga Premier is going to still be Premier, is going to be a premium product, and if you want content, And just by pressing this button, of course, behind that button, there is a whole world of things. There's going to be a red button, it's going to be Netflix, another is going to be Champion, another is going to be La Liga Española, another button, another color is going to be another content. So, okay, fine, maybe we could do it like that. We don't really know. So all of this that is happening is very difficult to make any forecasts. But of course, we have to be prepared for the different scenarios of the future. And because, of course, the digital content from now to 2030 is going to be completely different. So, of course, maybe you're going to look at sports through other channels other than television. Maybe television will be gone by 2030, who knows? But still, we have to be prepared. So it's very difficult to talk about all this without mentioning piracy. Well, I know it's impossible to forget piracy, especially during the weekend when we have live transmissions and broadcasting. They just steal the product. And so we have an anti-piracy unit which is absolutely unique in the entire world, and because we're fighting against this, we are devoting huge amounts of money in order to avoid piracy, especially in the technological field and also the legal and in the lobby environment. So our department detects every single weekend all the different networks of the world, and we immediately see who is pirating our shows. Whether it's through Google, it's through Apple, it's through something else, we know because we can detect it, and we are cooperating with basically everybody in the world in order to help everybody. And we have achieved huge results in avoiding this, also in the social networks, because we have taken away huge amounts of wireless, and also Google has to cooperate with us. They are cooperating, by the way. And if you had asked me this question 3 years ago, I wouldn't have known what to answer you. But now, of course, I know, and they are cooperating with us. And this is absolutely necessary because we have to absolutely eliminate those places, those areas where you can see a snatch of a football match, a snatch of any kind of sport just being pirated. In other words, nobody's paying any rights for it. And because obviously if we want to somehow turn all of this into money, we have to make sure that nobody is taking it away from us for free. So, and of course, this is what we're doing. So thank you very much. We have, I think, come to an end. So this is my last question. How do you see La Liga in the future? Well, let me talk to you about the future when you stop just being an organizer of a competition, but rather a member of a very important industry, like I was saying before, entertainment industry. We think that our strategy is going to help us immensely in the future to be there. We want to be on the spot. We want to be broadcasted all over the place. We want to have contracts. We want to have a good product. We want to have people who are eager, absolutely eager to see what we supply them with. And of course, this has to be done properly, because if we want to turn this into money, it has to be tip-top quality, and it has to be a model for OTT, for example. And We just don't want the usual channels. We want to have multi-channels. We want to have different platforms. And whether it's going to be called Liga Flix or Sportflix or Spanish Flix, it doesn't matter. But Netflix or football or whatever. And of course, regardless which OTT can bring up in the future, this is what we want to be in the future, something people want to look at eagerly. Do we have any questions? We need a microphone, please.
Si no, voy yo, más fácil.
Es sobre la implementación del
Talking about the implementation of the video to assist the referees. Does this depend from La Liga, or is it the federation who has to decide? In all the different countries in the world, it goes through the federation. It's not La Liga who's deciding whether the referees are going to have the camera. So, and I think that this is absolutely important because we're going to have a good referees, and we will avoid polemics.
Señor Tebas,
Mr. Tebas,
Cataluña, ¿sería posible
would it be possible
Barcelona
for Cataluña
and
de
quedar
Barcelona
parte de la
and
Liga
Español to
en
be
un
part of
Cataluña
La Liga
independiente?
with an independent Catalunya? I think I have answered you, sort of answered you. Well, no, not really. No, not really. Well, Catalunya is Spain, and of course Barcelona is Spain, and so I think that, of course, we have to consider that the Spanish public will look at Barcelona, will look at all these other football, and so we're going to. I think that the post-truth is extremely important. Many lies have been told, and it won't change. So good afternoon, Mr. Javier. I have a question as far as the Liga is concerned. You're very worried about the democratization at economic level of football throughout the world. And when you talk about democratization, I think that with the prices going up every year, maybe in the future football will be extremely elitarian, just a thing for the elite, for very rich people. And to look at. So, and I would also like to say that maybe the fact that it could be more democratic, more open to the rest of the world, would avoid piracy. Because when people cannot afford to see football or any other thing like a film or anything because it's too expensive, they will find a way, and it's not something that you can stop. So maybe the issue is extremely important. Maybe La Liga is thinking in ways in which to avoid this phenomenon to take place. The football product is a very good product, and it produces huge economic return. So, and what we have proposed for the European leagues with the money coming from the Champions League, that to have good returns, and this has to be divided between everybody else, so the small and medium-sized clubs in the different European countries can get some more money. But the idea is to become more democratic. Now, talking about piracy, well, I don't think it's very expensive. I think football is very cheap. In Spain, in any other place, with the thematic channels, it will cost you 12 euros to see a football match. It's very, very cheap. So they just, piracy is not because it's expensive to look at it, but rather because they just want to do it. So football is very, very cheap. And so I think that the consumer is paying very little to watch football through a regular channel, paying a regular electronic ticket. And so in Spain, a few years ago, they were paying 1,700, and now then it came 3 million, and now it's 5 million. It's not because we have increased the prices, but because there's so many more people watching us. So we haven't had to increase prices to get more money. So thank you very much for being here today. And he apologizes for being so late, but it wasn't his fault. It was the plane. Thank you very much.
Hi, welcome to SportLatam.
Félicitations. Congratulations. Ce prix du jury va prendre le prix pour. Voilà.
On célèbre le sport, mais on célèbre les femmes.
Le grand prix du Comité international olympique.